Hello there. I'm Aimee DeRoehn. Thanks for continuing to keep watching us on the RoadHome Empower Yoga Show. We have a half hour to breathe and move, break a little sweat, and nothing about your life will have changed, but everything will have changed just by shifting gears inside yourself. And you'll have big energy to power you through the rest of the day. Go ahead and start the practice coming out onto your back. Out onto your back, bring your feet flat, knees bent, hip width apart with the feet. Take your arms right over your head. And while your arms are overhead on the floor, so bringing the arms right on the floor, take a breath in so that your chest and belly rise up. And on the out breath, let your knees drop to the right, chin goes left. You keep your feet open, hip width apart. So you're on the outer edges of both feet. Breathe in, back to center. The out breath will take the knees, drop them to the left, chin to the right. Bring yourself back to center. Take your arms over your head and stretch your toes as far away from you as possible. Point your toes away. Let your arms rest on the ground if you can. And just stretch. Stretch your toes away from you. And your arms and fingers away from your feet. Already created a little space between the togetherness. It just makes things feel better already. So yoga is an immediate shift. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Rocking but breathing. Take a breath in. Let the exhale out. Put noise behind it. Rock up to flat feet. Make your way out onto your hands and your knees. Your hands line up directly under your shoulders. Your knees line up directly underneath your hips. Stick your butt all the way up. Stretch your chest upward. Look up with that chest stretching. Exhale, chin to chest, belly to spine, tailbone to the feet. Drop your belly. Really let it just sink. Exhale, round. Inhale, stretch everything away. Hug the shoulders away from the ears and toward the hips. Exhale, round. Everything about this practice is about putting ourselves back in right alignment. Sometimes we feel like we've been off for so long. That feels right. That feels normal. Yoga says, no, I'm going to get you back to where you really started, where you truly belong. Bring yourself to downward facing dog. With downward dog, walk it out a little bit, because if you have a short stance with the hands and feet, it simply keeps the back, the spine very short and rounded. So look for space. While looking for space, you don't want to go into crisis. Anchor down through the palms, flatten the palms. Feel the bones of the fingers, especially the first and second fingers. Press them down. Walk it out a little bit. Bring yourself back. Press right back through your hips and thighs as you exhale all the way out. Take another breath in. Empty all the way out. Feet together, walk or jump forward to the front of your mat. On the in-breath, with the feet together, come halfway up. Hug your shoulders towards your hips. Bend the knees a little bit and push your butt straight back to the wall behind you. Bring the hip weight more forward so you start lining the hamstrings up. Really tight hamstrings will always be pulling us back. Exhale, fold forward. Root your feet into the ground. Hug your thighs. Reach up. From the pillar of strength underneath you, you can go beyond. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Folding forward. Soften the knees. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Just that little bit of movement started to shift gears of the biochemistry, the nervous system. Letting your breath take you inward, inward, inward. Where your true calm is really there waiting for you. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step into a high plank position. So hands under the shoulders. Heels press back. Thighs are going to lift up. Pushing your hands into the floor like you're trying to drive the floor away from you with the strength of your arms. Exhale, low plank. Elbows hug right into the body. Upward facing. Breathe it in. Big exhalation is a clearing, so you have space for down dog. By exhaling the breath, you create space inside, and that makes everything feel not so compacted on the outside. Big breath in, decompress with an exhale. Belly draws tight. Bend the knees. Walk or jump. Inhale, halfway. Out breath, fold. Bend the knees. Drop your butt down. Arms are going to reach straight over your head for Utkatasana. Sink the weight back into the heels. Tilt your tailbone toward the ground. Pull the heart up, 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 away from the belly button. Stretch a little bit back. Exhale, fold forward. In breath, halfway lifting. Step back to a high plank position. Exhale to a low push-up. Up dog, press the palms down. The heart is beyond the wrists. Empty the breath, downward facing. Take your right foot, move into warrior one. Turn your back foot down. Inhale to stand. Right knee pressing open. Right hip, pull it back. Everything else, stretch it up, 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 up. Ignite every finger. You want to get ignited. It's not the pose by itself. It's breathing in and letting all that breath go. Palms come together over your head. Look straight up. Set your eyes. Set your vision. Exhale, high plank. Low push-up. Up facing, in breath. Down facing, out breath. Left foot, warrior one. Step into it. Inhale yourself up while reaching up. Remember the feet. Remember the legs. The back leg hugging muscle to bone. Use your breath to take you up. Use your exhale to take you back. And take this pose and go somewhere new. Go somewhere uncharted. The breath gives us the courage to do that on and off the mat. Hands to the ground, high plank position. Low push-up, up facing, empty out, down facing. Big breath in, complete it. Walk forward. In breath halfway, out breath fold, Bend the knees, sink down again. Arms stretch up for Utkatasana. Take opposite hand over your head, grabbing the opposite elbow. Sit your hips lower. Stretch your chest straight up. Look up, pressing your arms and shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Out breath. Step back, high push-up. Exhale, low. Fill the lungs, up dog. Empty the breath completely. Down dog. Hips and thighs back, head dropping. Let your eyes land between your feet. The more you breathe deeper, that doesn't just sound powerful for the fun of it. Powerful things are being put back into place. To land your eyes is allowing your eyes to sink deeper into their sockets. That's going to settle your nervous system. So moving forward into warrior one, but not in a place of chaotic energy, not frantic. Right foot forward, warrior one, come up. Open wide into warrior two. Pull the wrists away from one another. Press the right knee open. Flipping your palms, but flip your arms up from your armpits. Turn up the dial so that the pinky fingers almost spin to that side wall. Reverse your warrior, reach up. Take your right hand to your right ankle, grab hold. Press the right knee open, left arm reaching. Press that right buttock in toward the middle of your mat and your right knee open. Stretching up, 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 up. Back to warrior two. Right leg's going to straighten. Lengthen out as far as you can. Triangle. Arms are going to be in one plane. Shoulder blades squeeze together at your middle back. Pressing the right hip in, roll open. Release, hand to the ground. High push-up position. Empty the breath, low push-up. Big breath, up dog. Big, easy out breath. Down dog. In downward dog, take a breath in. Give yourself a nice heavy sigh, a hefty sigh. Like yoga's the place you dump your baggage. You'll walk out on the street and feel lighter. Warrior one. Left foot, moving into it. In breath, come up. Eyes land and then soften the gaze. So you're an intense hip opener, but can you keep your eyes soft? Good. And can you take softening attitude, like compassion, into your warrior one? Compassion for you starts widening the gate for a bigger empathy for others. Exhale, warrior two. Take your palms and flip them up from the upper biceps near your armpits. Roll the palms open to the sky. Make the action come from the upper biceps. Reverse your warrior. Reversing, stretching. As you exhale, the left hand catches hold of that left ankle or shin. The knee stays lined up over your ankle. Arm reaching to the sky. Left buttock pulls in. Good. Breathing. I like to root for myself all the way through. Come back to warrior two. Straighten through the front leg. Anchor down through the big toe. Getting ready to move into triangle. So with that left leg straightened, the left arm extending, Open your chest, open your arms. In your triangle, we're always thinking it's up top. And it is. But you'll get a bigger space above you if the feet open up into the floor. And firm those legs. And stretch open. And just breathe. And back to the ground. High plank. Low push-up. Up facing. Draw the breath into the lungs. Big exhale. Down dog. Breathe it in. Empty it away. Bend the knees. Jump. Feet to hands. Inhale. Flat back. Empty the breath. Fold forward. Bend your knees. Drop your butt. Reach up. Sit your hips lower and sit them way, way back. And then take your arms and stretch them over your head toward the back of the room. Look up. Bring the palms together over your head. Pull yourself straight up to stand. Hands to the heart. Tree pose. Just a simple balancing movement. Right foot's coming into the left thigh. Palms are going to really press. It's important to always make sure that you're not pressing the right foot into the left leg too much. So it's a more even distribution. Take your arms straight above you, but not into a big V. Just keep your arms right over, lined up over your shoulders. Rooting down through the bottom foot, firming the bottom leg. Stretch up and back. Go someplace unusual to you. Bring your hands to your heart. Bring it down. Tree on the other side. Setting it up. Setting it up with the right foot plugging into the floor. The right leg squeezing and the left leg finding its perfect spot. Set your gaze at one spot. The balance comes from mind. You're just breathing and you're letting that breath be soothing to the mind. And the more we quiet the mind, the more steady we become physically. Go figure, it teaches us the mind and body are not separate at all. What's going on in the head has an effect on us physically. What's going on emotionally has an effect on us physically. The bigger we breathe, we just bring all that to a place of center. Bring your foot to the ground. Inhale, arms reach. Big exhale, bend the knees, fold deeply. Inhale, flat back. Come to high plank. Move to low plank. Into an up dog. The breath is just threading every pose together. Downward dog. The breath out threads that. Downward dog. In your downward dog, find your breath again. Bring your knees right to the ground. Set up for camel. So folding the front edge of your mat over once or twice. Knees and feet hip width. Hands to the low back. Hugging those elbows, but really be conscious of the shoulders drawing down from the neck. Press your hips forward as though you're pressing them into right against an imaginary wall. Let your chest press up. You can stay right here. You can let your head come back. If it ever bothers your neck, you can look straight ahead. If you're a little bit more open, you grab hold of the heels by coming onto the balls of the feet. Then you have less room to find your feet back there. Keep pressing the hips forward so the hips stay more over the knees. And let the chest puff right up. and breathe. Very slowly come up from your camel. Right where you are, bring the feet together behind you. Bring yourself to child's pose without even unrolling the mat. Just right where you are. Drop your head. Take your breath in. Take your breath out. Very gently come on up to seated. Bring your feet hip width apart, hands behind you on the floor. Feet are hip width, and you're going to come into tabletop. So by pressing the palms and feet into the floor, the hips and heart go high. The more you squeeze the feet down, the more the hips go high. Think about the hamstrings pushing right up into the quads. Drop your head completely. Hug your shoulders together right underneath you. Let your head fall out of the way. Bring your butt down to the ground. Good. Taking yourself into a twist. So taking your left elbow, bend it and place it right outside your right knee. Fingertips to the floor behind you. You're really going to lift up tall out of your spine. And on the out breath, you're going to ring out. Your eyes are set, but the eyes are soft. You relax the eyes, you'll start to relax the jaw. If you're more relaxed, the body can breathe without so much work. Good. Switch sides. Right elbow. Press it right up against that left leg. Keep lifting up out of your low back, but root your hips into the earth. Feel that left shoulder blade squeeze in toward the middle spine. And just breathe. Your exhales create the twist for you. So it's more natural. You're working with what you were bringing to the table. You have so much to offer. Start losing not just some of the physical tension, but start losing some of the mental tension created from self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs. Go ahead, come back to center. Take your arms straight up, stretch your legs out in front of you. And taking your right foot into the left thigh. Yeah, so set that up and then stretch up and fold forward. You can keep a soft bend in the left leg, or you can press that left leg into the floor. If you're not breathing, you'll be bullying your way through a forward fold, which will never truly help the spine to let go the way it wants to. Come on back up. Switch legs. Inhale, arms reach all the way up to the sky. Out breath, fold. Drop your head. Drop your head down. Go into your breath. The breath is far more interesting than my voice. Come on back up. Bring the soles of the feet together. Sit up nice and tall. As you exhale, you'll fold forward. Drop your head. Letting your exhale soften your pelvis, soften your legs, your knees, your hips, your buttocks. For you, like this practice will really, like you show up and so much will be done on your behalf. You're not just lining up the joints, you're lining up with a very friendly universe. Found inside yourself. Come on back up. Bring yourself all the way out onto your back. Feet are flat, knees bent. Right back to where you began. Feet are open, hip width apart. Take a breath in. Hips drop to the left. You look right. Breath out. Let something be released for you by your willingness to just hand over an exhalation. Other side. While you're on the other side, close your eyes. Come on back to center. Hug the knees into your chest. Rock side to side, ironing out your back one final time. Stretch your legs out onto the floor, arms at your sides, Shavasana. Big inhale. Exhale as a clearing. Get clear that the exhales are clearing. They clear fatigue. They clear mental fogginess. Your breathing out clears angst. Clears the subtle frustrations of the day, and you start to realize nothing is really that big a deal. It's just that our ego makes it so. Through the practice of yoga, we breathe in and we breathe out, and we reunite with the spirit of us. We reunite with our creative juices. When we have too much tiredness, too much fatigue, too much tension, too much stress, too many blocks, it dries up our creative flow. It dries up our ability to plug in to inspiration, which comes from spirit, not ego. So look at your life right now. Take anything, anyone really irking you. See how it takes up too much space. Look at fear. Look at anger. Those are heavy, dense emotions, and you'll feel them. They'll weigh the body down. They'll weigh life force down. They'll cut off your oxygen. Is that really worth it? Bring your hand to your heart. Hand to the belly. Big breath in. Big, easy sigh. Let it roll out of you. Again, in breath. Out breath. Place your flat palms, both of them right at your heart. That's the energy we're seeking. Namaste.